And every Saturday at ABN HQ. I'm joined in the studio by my buddy producer, confidant. Listen, all of that, and he's a Tottenham fan, so he must be special.
Ask me after the Rochdale game tomorrow.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he's a
we should,
merchant of doom.
If when
merchant
that
of
draw
doom.
happens at 8 o'clock, they say Rochdale or Spurs will play, I'd take Southampton. I'd probably take Leicester at
You
Wembley.
take Brighton?
I would
You take Sheffield
Brighton.
Wednesday or Swansea?
The thing is, I like Brighton, so I don't really want Brighton, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. I've got a bit
yeah.
of a soft spot for them.
Yeah.
I don't particularly want Chelsea, Man City or Man United.
No. Boy, can you imagine the semi-finals?
Oh, yes. Can you? Yeah.
And they will be very much like last season, which was Chelsea-Tottenham
Yeah.
on the Saturday.
And Arsenal, Man City.
And I did both of those games, and I don't know how Tottenham didn't win, and I don't know how Man City didn't win.
I don't know how Tottenham won because I thought it was the best we've played against Chelsea for a very, very
And I
long
tell you
time.
what, if you think about it, a year on, a Man City Tottenham final would be a fan cracker, wouldn't it?
It would. I think you wouldn't hold back. It's not one for defenders, that one, is it?
I'm getting
Let's be honest.
excited. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. And you know what's going to be interesting, Mike, is Tottenham get to the cup final. You're going to be there, aren't you?
Of course I'll
Of course
be
you
there.
are.
Of course I'll be there. From a fan point of view, not in the press box, because I don't think I would be that professional, to be honest.
Listen. I understand it.
It's hard, isn't it?
Won the cup 3 times in 4 seasons. Can I share them with
Yeah,
you?
go on,
Since
go
we're
on, let's
talking
have it,
FA
let's
Cup.
have
First one was against Hull. Do you remember?
I do.
The pressure was on. Hadn't
Yeah.
won a trophy for 10 seasons.
That's right.
Clear favourites against Hull, who
Of
I think
course.
were embroiled in relegation.
Yeah.
Before I'd sat down in my press seat, we were 2 goals down.
Oh.
Kieran Gibbs then clears something off the line that would have made it
Yeah.
3-0.
I remember.
Santi Cazorla gets us back in the game with a devastating free kick.
What a player he was.
Their goalkeeper McGregor then starts having a worldie.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, it's not happening tonight.
No.
And I'm expecting all my Tottenham mates and family, my Man United, to give me grief.
Of course.
Koscielny gets us back in 2-2.
Yeah.
Aaron Ramsey wins it. When the final whistle went, Mike, I didn't know what to do.
No, it's very hard.
Because
isn't
I'm in
it?
the press box.
Yeah.
So professionalism reigns.
Of course.
But I went to the casino that night in Stratford.
Good idea.
And all I know is that I was probably around and getting home the same time as my local milkman. Yeah. Second year, I was a bag of nerves.
Yeah.
This time we're playing Aston Villa, once again embroiled in relegation, so we were clear favourites.
Of course.
And I remember walking around, because I always get to games early.
Yeah, me
I remember
too.
walking around at Wembley. Beautiful day, like today has been.
Lovely.
Absolute cracker, obviously a lot warmer. And I saw Paolo Di Canio being interviewed.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, it kicked in. And I said, you know what? The vast majority of people would love to be here as defending champions.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt about it, the Champions League and the Premier League are the big ones. But the FA Cup final day is still something special.
It is, it's
especially
huge.
the final. Never mind today's
I agree.
non-events, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So I snapped out of it and said, listen, come and enjoy it. We got started. We were in yellow that day. We missed a hatful of chances
You did.
inside 10 minutes. Once again, I'm thinking, we're going to mug ourselves off here.
You sound like a Spurs fan.
Right. Theo Walcott then, bless his cotton socks,
Yeah.
scores. Pressure eases. We then miss a few more chances. Start of the second half, you must remember Mr. Sanchez scoring the goal
I do.
of the season.
And that is the one that's always played on highlights packages, etc.
25 yards out, bang, 2-0. As an Arsenal fan, you're still a bit nervous. And then we go on and do the business and win that one, I think 4-0 in the end. The last one, last year, Chelsea had gone on this run, hadn't they, to win the league. They were the team.
They were the informed team going into it, weren't
Absolutely right. They had won the league the previous season. Hazard, Costa, etc. I
Yep.
said, we got no chance.
they? Of course.
And funny enough, true story, I saw the Arsenal head of communications in the gents.
Right, okay.
And he knows I'm an Arsenal man. He knows I'm always at the Emirates. He said,
Yep.
Rods, what do you think of our chances today? I said, 0.
Wow.
He said, listen, you've got to be a bit more optimistic than that. So said, so done. For 90 minutes, Arsenal played Chelsea off the park.
They did. Yeah.
I think they might have still been celebrating the Premier League win and Arsenal were at it. That's my tale of 3 FA Cup finals. I want to put it in a book one day.
I wish I could reel off those great experiences, but I can't. Because I've never seen us in an FA Cup final
Your
at Wembley.
time's coming, trust
Well,
me.
my
Whether
Wembley
it be in the
time-
Champions League, or the FA Cup, I think Tottenham will handle a trophy as winners this season. And I put a little 10p on it.
The Juventus game will be my 20th game at Wembley this season. It's lost a little bit of its magic, I'll be honest. Even if we get to the semis or the final.
It won't lose it if you're lifting a trophy.
I hope not. And I hope I can shake your hand and get very drunk with you on the day that we...
Not a problem.
Not that I drink, obviously.
Done and deal. All right. All right. I was only at the casino because I got lost.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you were shopping at Westfield, weren't you? All those West Ham fans pointing you in the right direction.
Talking about West Ham fans. No, we're not going to talk about West Ham fans. They're not playing.
No,
we're not leaving.
They're out the cup.
Let's leave them. Let's talk about something very current, Mike, and that's the Winter Olympics.
I've enjoyed it.
Now, there's been some sensational stories. I watched them speed skating today.
Yeah.
I was buzzing about it. I saw a Korean win.
Yes.
And was moving at hell of a pace. Tell me. What's it been like? Give me some stories.
I've enjoyed it. We'll stick with speed skating then, as you've taken me there first of all. There's a British athlete called Elise Christie. She was in 3 different disciplines. They do it over metres like they do in the athletics track. 500, 1,000 and 1,500 were her 3 events that she's gone into. You may know her name from the Sochi Olympics, which was where the last Winter Olympics were. And she, of course, crashed out. There's all those pictures of her crashing into the matting at the side, crying her eyes out.
Doing a Paula Radcliffe, I call it.
She's done that twice in this Olympics already. I've got a bit of an issue with her. £2 million goes into her funding. She's got 1 event left. She is fit. If you watched it this morning, she crashed out again. It was her fault entirely. She crashed into a Chinese athlete, took her out as well. She was taken away on a stretcher. Again, she was crying. I don't know if she needs to get that looked at.
Or something.
I think so. It's not great for an athlete. Look, we get it's emotional, but don't cry every time you crash out. So she's got one more chance left to get a medal. She was our great medal hope. I'll come on to medals in a second, but she is going to be in the 1,000 metres tomorrow, in a couple of days, if she's fit. So we'll see.
Okay. Third time lucky, maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Or not.
Well,
as the case may be.
I doubt it. And take her $2 million funding away. It could go to somebody else in a better sport, if I'm honest.
Absolutely.
Brighter news. Izzy Aitken. You've probably never heard of her. She won the Women's Ski Super Style this morning.
Well done. Yes, I heard about her.
That is basically, they go down on skis but do a snowboarding course, is the best way to explain it to everyone at home.
Yeah.
It looks a bit like skateboarding with rails and different ledges to go onto. She won Britain's 2nd medal at the time. We'd already got a bronze. She got a 2nd. She is the youngest team member in Team GB. She's 19 years old.
Well done to her.
Her mother's Malaysian. Her father's British. She lives and trains in Utah in America. So you see her interviewed, and it's a nice big thick American accent you're listening to. You wouldn't believe that she's Team GB because she sounds like she's right out of the ranch in Texas. But good luck to her. She's
done
got
the
a bronze.
business. That's all that matters.
She has. One before I get onto the main medal, curling, Rodney. I want to talk to you about curling. You've had your floor mop out, and you've had a practice on your laminate flooring.
Yeah,
I love it. Absolutely.
I don't understand it.
No, I get it a little bit. It's a bit like bowls. You know,
true.
Bowls?
I was going to say that. I don't. Yeah,
it is. Well, the women this morning beat Denmark, but then lost to Korea. In fact, the men lost to Korea as well. So we've both had a loss to the host today. The women's skip is Eve Muirhead. There's 4 in a team. 4 lovely Scottish ladies, 4 lovely young Scottish gents. So 8 Scottish athletes there in Team GB. Bit of an Andy Murray situation there. They're obviously Scottish when they lose and British when they win.
Absolutely.
And the men are currently 6th with the top 4 qualifying out of 9. You play 9 round-robin games. Top 4 qualify straight semi-finals. And then into the final. So there's a bronze medal match and a gold medal match. That goes on through the whole entire length. So there's always a little bit of curling on if you fancy watching it.
Yeah.
The women, though, look like a hope for a medal in that.
Yeah.
And then I come to skeleton. Now,
explain what the skeleton is, because you did it to me.
You liked this, didn't you?
And I liked it, and I understand it. And that's the thing about sport. If you can understand it, you can enjoy it.
It is. Now, skeleton was originally called skeleton bob. It's because it is the skeleton of a bobsled.
Okay.
Now, a bobsled, obviously, is where you can get 2 or 4 persons
I've seen some of that during the course of the week already.
Yes, we obviously saw the Jamaican team as well. They, obviously, from Cool Runnings, everyone remembers the Jamaican bobsled team. They looked like they lost their funding in the week. And who owns their bobsled? Their coach. He took the bobsled with him.
Yes,
and
so
said,
I heard.
It's my ball. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I'm off. That's a little bit poor.
Only the sort of thing that could happen to a Jamaican bobsleigh team.
Definitely.
Really?
But, you know, they're back competing now, so good luck to them. But
I hear a beer company are sponsoring their new sled.
They are indeed. And talking of sleds, obviously the skeleton variety, it basically, people describe it as sliding down the track on a tea tray, because that's what it is. You lay down, you go face first. Lizzie Yarnold is British. She won it in Sochi. She's the Olympic champion. She was going out to defend her title. She calls her sled Marvin, by the way. And that is after the man that funds her to get to these Olympics.
Oh, wonderful story.
She gets less than £250,000 funding. She's won 2 gold medals. Elise Christie gets 2 million. She's won absolutely nothing. Put that into perspective. It's not great.
It's not about the funding sometimes, about the ability, isn't it?
I agree. So Lizzie Yarnold went into that, and lo and behold, she won our gold medal, our one and only gold medal.
Fantastic.
She is the first ever British Winter Olympian to retain a title.
Yeah, I've heard about her.
We've only had 11 golds since 1924.
And she's got 2 of them.
She has. So 1924 was the first Winter Olympics. Obviously, there was none during the war.
Yeah.
It's gone on since then. We've won 11 golds. 2 belong to Lizzie Yarnold. But Laura Dews as well got a bronze for Britain. So we ended up with bronze and gold in the same event. And they are best mates. They were bridesmaids at each other's weddings. They say they push each other. And when Lizzie Yarnold went down on her final run, you have 4 runs in the skeleton, she actually broke the track record, 51.46 seconds. She did her final run in, which took her from 2nd to 1st. Laura Dews went from 4th to 3rd. And the lady who was actually in front, the Austrian girl, all the way through, ended up 4th. She was the last one to go, so she had everything
Worst
in her
possible
hand.
position to end in.
Yeah, definitely. So to sum up on our medals, we've got 1 gold and 3 bronze after day 8 of the Winter Olympics.
I tell you what, I have really been enjoying the Winter Olympics. I love the speed skating. I'm looking forward to the bobsleigh that's going to be taking place. And you know what, Mike? Not to patronise anybody that's participating, it's lovely to get, if you like, a 2-week window of something else, isn't it?
It is. And to be honest, none of these sports that I've just spoken about, I would watch the World Championships or the league or however they do it all the year round. I don't watch it. I like the ski jumping as well. It makes me feel nauseous watching it because I'm not a great lover of heights, and they are coming from a height. The snowboarding, there was a little bit of tension because the wind was blowing so much it was actually knocking athletes over. But, you know, look, like you say, there's different sports that you get into. I'd love to have a go at curling. If you took me down the ice rink now.
Your explanation of skeleton, you know, first class for me.
Do you like that?
I'm going to be very careful about my tea tray purchases in the future. Can it move downhill at some speed? Let me give you some championship results. It ended Birmingham 0, Millwall 1, Burton 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Cardiff, my screen has just disappeared from me there. Cardiff 1, Middlesbrough 0. Fulham 2, Aston Villa 0. Great result for Fulham.
Yeah,
Mike,
huge.
who looked like they're just gaining some momentum there. Preston and Wolves drew 1-1. QPR 2, Bolton 0. And Sunderland 0, Brighton 2. So Fulham, to me, look like they're just gathering a little bit of a pace for a playoff place. They've been there or thereabouts for a little while, haven't they?
Yeah, and I think another team this afternoon, you talk about the playoffs. Bristol City are playing Leeds tomorrow. They can creep back in the playoffs. But at the same time, I think Middlesbrough, they're slipping out of the playoffs now. They're 4 points adrift at the bottom of that, just outside those playoff places. They're a team you'd expect to see in the Premier League.
Now, we had the Man United team. Can you find us the Huddersfield team to take on Man United?
Of course I
There's
can.
no Paul Pogba. He's ill, in inverted commas.
Yeah.
He's probably got Mourinho-itis. As I said to one of my friends earlier on, I just want to find out that Huddersfield team just to see how seriously they're taking this. Don't forget, this is a team that are embroiled in a relegation scrap of their own, Mike.
Well, I can tell you 7 changes from the league win over Bournemouth.
Which was a very good win. And I've got to say,
massive.
last week we got our predictions wrong, didn't we?
We did. I said 2-0 Bournemouth.
Absolutely. I thought Bournemouth were going to win. There was another one, Newcastle United beating Man United as well.
I enjoyed Super Sunday.
I'm sure you did.
Liverpool-Southampton let me down because as soon as Liverpool scored early, that was it, game over.
And it was a real faux pas in Southampton's defence for that first goal.
But they've got Lascelles in goal. They've got Jorgensen, Schneiderlin, Congolo, Billing, Williams. They're names that I'm sure you're not familiar with. Up front corner, Thomas Ince starts. He's been in and out of the team. Van La Parra, again.
Had a good game last week, scored a penalty.
They've got Mounier up front. So
He had a good game last week.
Yeah.
And I can't explain to me, Mike. He's the main striker last week.
Yeah.
He had 2 goals in his back pocket.
Yeah.
There was injury time. Huddersfield get a penalty. Why
Yeah.
did Van La Parra take it and score?
I don't get it.
They were always going to win the game, weren't they? Just
Yeah.
based on where we were. I think the manager was screaming, "Let Mounier take it for his hat-trick."
I think they've looked at other clubs like Crystal Palace, where we've discussed penalties. Obviously, Benteke
Mr.
taking
Benteke.
things there.
Yeah.
So that might be in the back of their mind, or they are that focused as a Premier League team, they've gone, right, this is our plan, we will stick to our plan.
Okay, this is the Voice of Sports show here on ABN Radio. Listen, if you want to tune into us quite literally, you can do that via the app to your phone or your iPad. The DAB radio will give you that option as well, and abnradiouk.com on the website. The Voice is out every Thursday. You can download the app as well, and for all the breaking news for our communities, it's voice-online.co.uk. Alternatively, anyone around the world can search for ABN Radio UK. That's your first task, not just this week, but every week, on YouTube, and watch us live. We are having some real entertainment in this studio this